What if the penny in your pocket right now is actually worth more than your car? Imagine this. You're digging through an old jar of change at your grandparents' house, a handful of dull, forgotten coins. One of them catches the light just right. 1982. Abraham Lincoln staring back at you, looking a little more serious than usual. You almost toss it back in. But something feels different, heavier, older, like it's carrying a secret from a year when America itself was changing forever. That coin might just be one of the most quietly revolutionary pieces of American history ever minted. And right now, collectors are hunting it like buried treasure. Let's travel back. It's the early 1980s. Copper prices have skyrocketed. The traditional penny that had been with America since the beginning suddenly costs more to make than it was worth. The mint faced a crisis. They had to change the recipe. But change like this doesn't happen cleanly. What followed was one of the most fascinating transitional years in modern coin history. 1982 became the bridge between two eras. The heavy, resonant copper penny of our childhood memories and the lighter, copper-plated zinc version we know today. In that single year, the mint produced over 15 billion pennies, but not all of them were created equal, not even close. Picture the mint floors buzzing with activity, massive presses hammering out Lincoln's profile by the millions, workers rushing between old copper planchets and shiny new zinc ones, dies being swapped, dates being adjusted. It was organized chaos. And in that chaos, legends were born. Flip the 1982 penny over in your hand. On the obverse, Lincoln's profile, strong, thoughtful, timeless. In God we trust arches above, liberty to the left. The date 1982 sits proudly at the bottom. But here's where it gets interesting. Look closer at that date. There are two distinct date styles in 1982. Large date and small date. The large date has bolder, thicker numerals. The small date is more delicate, almost refined. It's like two different artists subtly signed the same coin. Most people walk right past this detail, but to collectors, it's the first clue in a high-stakes mystery. Now, turn it over. The reverse shows the majestic Lincoln Memorial, columns standing tall like guardians of history, a pluribus unum above, United States of America ringing the top, 1 cent at the bottom, that familiar building where Lincoln's spirit lives on. But this coin isn't just metal and ink, it's a time capsule. Hold it, and you're touching the exact moment America decided its smallest currency had to evolve to survive. Here's where the suspense builds. Weigh it. A genuine copper, 1982, penny tips the scales at about 3.11 grams. The newer zinc version, only 2.5 grams. That tiny difference feels almost alive in your palm. One carries the weight of tradition, the other the lightness of the future. Now the mint marks. Philadelphia coins usually have no mint mark. Denver has a small D below the date. San Francisco produced proofs. But in 1982, the transition created 7 official varieties: large date copper, small date copper, large date zinc, small date zinc, and their Denver counterparts. Each combination tells its own story of those frantic minting months. Collectors live for this. They sit at kitchen tables with scales, magnifying glasses, and flashlights turning ordinary pocket change into potential gold. Because one wrong planchet fed into the wrong die at the wrong moment created something magical. Now lean in. This is the part that makes hearts race. Among all these varieties, there's one that stands alone as the Holy Grail, the 1982 D small date copper penny. The Denver Mint was supposed to be fully switched to zinc by the time they used the small date dies, but somehow a few leftover copper planchets snuck through. They were struck with the small date dies meant for the new zinc coins. Only a handful are known to exist. Confirmed examples have sold for tens of thousands of dollars. These aren't just rare. They're accidental masterpieces born from a moment of minting imperfection. Imagine finding one in a roll of pennies from the bank. Your hands shake as you place it on the scale. 3.11 grams, small date. That tiny D. The room goes silent. You've just found one of the rarest modern coins in existence. That's the dream that fuels the entire coin collecting community. Of course, not every 1982 penny is a jackpot. Value depends heavily on condition. A worn circulated coin might be worth a few dollars if it's a desirable variety. But in pristine mint state, especially with that beautiful original red copper color glowing like it was struck yesterday, that's where serious money enters the picture. Grading services like PCGS and NGC examine every microscopic detail. Strike quality surface marks luster color. A high-grade example can transform from pocket change into a numismatic treasure worth thousands. Collectors don't just own these coins. They preserve them. They protect them in slabs. They pass them down like family heirlooms. Because these pennies aren't just money. They're stories you can hold. There's something deeply human about coin collecting. It's not just about value. It's about connection. Every time you pick up a 1982 penny, you're holding a piece of the year the world was transforming. Ronald Reagan was president. MTV was changing culture. Personal computers were just beginning to appear in homes. And the humble penny was evolving right alongside everything else. It connects us to our parents' generation, the one that carried these heavier coins in their pockets during economic uncertainty. It connects us to the mint workers who poured their precision into every strike. And it connects us to Lincoln himself, whose quiet strength on the coin reminds us of enduring American values. That emotional pull is powerful. Collectors talk about the thrill of the hunt, the late nights sorting through coins, the moment of discovery when something ordinary suddenly becomes extraordinary. It's hope in metallic form, possibility in your pocket. Pause this video. Go grab any 1982 pennies you can find. Look at the date size. Check for a mint mark. Gently weigh them if you have a scale. Ask yourself, does this one feel heavier? Is the date bold or delicate? You might be holding something special, even if it's not the ultra-rare transitional error. Every 1982 penny has character. They're the last of the old copper era. They represent resilience, adaptation, and the beauty of small things that matter. So what if that ordinary-looking penny from 1982 isn't ordinary at all? What if it's been waiting quietly in drawers, jars, and old wallets for decades, carrying the weight of history, the spark of rarity, and the promise of discovery? In a world of digital everything, these physical links to our past feel more precious than ever. They remind us that value isn't always obvious. Sometimes the most meaningful treasures are the ones hiding in plain sight. Lincoln looks out from that coin with the same steady gaze he had through the Civil War. He reminds us that even in times of change, strength and integrity endure. Next time you get change back at the store, look closer. Feel the weight. Notice the details, because in that simple copper-colored disc might be a story worth telling, a piece of history worth keeping, or just maybe a small fortune waiting to be discovered. That's the magic of coin collecting. It turns the everyday into the epic, the forgotten into the legendary. What about you? Have you ever found an old coin that surprised you? Do you have a 1982 penny in your collection? Drop a comment below with the year and variety you found, or the one you're still hunting for. Tell us your best coin story. Your discovery might just inspire the next viewer to check their own change. If you enjoyed this journey through the hidden world of the 1982 penny, hit that like button. It really helps the channel. Subscribe and ring the notification bell so you never miss another deep dive into America's forgotten treasures. We've got more rare coins, hidden details, and incredible stories coming your way. Thanks for watching. Keep hunting. Keep wondering. And remember, sometimes the smallest things carry the biggest stories. Until next time, stay curious.